I would say the hardest transitions that I see are the ones that come from like a spreadsheets, right? So you have a some sort of outside sales team that is managing their process in a spreadsheet. There's a dozen of them. They all kind of manage it in a little bit different. Their manager has no insight into what they're doing, who their leads are, what their pipeline looks like, but they've managed and they've made their numbers. And why do I need to go into this platform? So in those cases, I always recommend getting them involved in UAT as quickly as possible. And the leaders are generally the ones that are kind of dictating the discovery and the build at that point in time. And it's not that they intentionally make decisions that aren't going to support the sales team, but the sales team is doing things that they have no idea, that the leaders have no idea they're doing. And those are the things that you discover during that UAT process. So getting them involved in, even if it's demos or getting them into the sandbox that can create records, do some things in parallel for a little while, they'll start to get comfortable, hopefully, or they'll ask questions. I often also say in my projects that without our end users, our jobs would be a whole lot easier, but that's not really a whole lot of job security, and the whole reason we have jobs is because there's end users. So I wasn't a sales rep for a long time, so I do try to anticipate some of the weird things that they might do, but as I said earlier, if something isn't quite right, they will find a workaround and they will end up doing something that you never anticipated that they would do. And why are you doing that? Who told you to do that? But they just found a way to do what they needed to do. Trying to get ahead of that in demos or builds is the best way, getting their hands on that keyboard. And then probably even some working sessions. So the way our team works is that we have implementation specialists. I'd like to do a lot of working sessions with them in that regard. So a page layout, right? Especially if they're coming from a Salesforce platform, sometimes it's a tough transition into what that page layout looks like and how those user clicks happen. So get some of your change champions or some of your lead salespeople involved in how that's set up. Then they get comfortable with it. I always say they can be your first line of defense because, if I'm on with a VP of sales doing the discovery and the build, they don't want to get a bajillion questions from the sales team on how they do something in HubSpot. So getting one of their people involved can kind of be their first line of defense as they make that transition.